Hi, I'm Emma Deppa. I'm a sophomore and my major is biochemistry. I'm actually a double major, so I have another major in Spanish too. I'm from Winona, Minnesota, so not too far away, but I'm from a college town, so it's not too unfamiliar being here. I chose my major as biochemistry because in high school I loved chemistry, like it was my favorite class, and so when I came here I knew I wanted to do something science related, so I took Chemistry 201, which is kind of like the general chemistry to see how I felt about that. That class is actually a really big deciding factor for a lot of people entering the science field, as if they can do it or not. So survived it, passed it, got an A, moved on, and I love my major. I mean, biochemistry sounds really scary to a lot of people because of the intense course load, but I'm not really afraid of it because I actually like it. I mean, I have to study a ton, but I love studying because I'm learning about stuff that I find really interesting. So I think that if you find something that you love and are passionate about, whether it be like teaching or really hard science classes, you'll find what you want to do and it'll be helpful in the studying process. So my goals as a biochemistry major, short term would be to either make it into grad school or go to pharmacy school, because my long-term goal is to be a research pharmacologist, which would be working with a drug company to test new drugs and like find new prescriptions and new medications for different ailments. I discovered that I wanted to do this mostly this year in my microbiology lab class. I love it. I could spend all day in microbiology class doing different tests, and I think it's super interesting. I think it's super fun, and I would not mind doing that with the rest of my life, especially if it meant finding cures to new and old diseases, I suppose. As I said before, the major does require a lot of studying. I am recognized around campus as, oh hey, aren't you that girl that's always on the second floor of the library? Yes, I am that girl. I study a lot, I'm in the library a lot, but that shouldn't scare you away from it because I like studying, and I think that you will too if you find a topic that is interesting enough to you. Advice that I would give to a new or undecided student would be to not be afraid of a major because it sounds too challenging. I mean, when you're looking through the packet and the student bulletin, you see biochemistry and all the classes it requires. I mean, when I picked that major, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be so hard, so much work. But like, the thing is that the easier classes that you take in the beginning kind of build on your knowledge, so when you do get to the really hard classes, they aren't as terrible because you have the background knowledge that it requires. I also think that it's important not to write something off just because it does sound too challenging. I mean, if people weren't ready to take challenges, society wouldn't be where it is today. And so I think that it is important to challenge yourself and important to take on the challenges of a difficult major. If you're considering a major in the science field, I would suggest meeting with an advisor or professor from that college, College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. That or meeting with the SRC, Angie Beaumier. She's extremely helpful. I've worked with her a lot through my job as a learning community coordinator for the Women in Science and Engineering learning community. Another thing you could do for prospective students would be to join a learning community, because they're a really good way to meet people in the major. The learning community coordinator is generally someone who is knowledgeable in the area or the field that the learning community focuses on, and they've taken a lot of the classes, and so they can provide a student perspective for you. I also think that going to the Career Development Center and seeing what possible careers there are through that major would be very helpful to you, because you could get a major or something and then not be able to find a job that you want to do. And so meeting with the Career Development Center, professors and advisors, and other students who are in the major, I think are probably the three most important things you could do while trying to decide a major.